leaving after season 7, did you get a lot of shit about that, or did you feel supported in the decision?
I think, my contract was 6 years, and I ended up doing 7. So I was, and it was funny because Peter Roth, who I never really thought was that cool, he was the president, and I just felt like I was kind of full of it. And to be honest with you, always handing out hugs and loving on everybody and shitting on you behind the scenes.
Listen, I sat down and I begged him to do more Longmire. We begged, and he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So,
well,
it is what it is.
He had a this will get you some downloads.
Zoom in on camera, too, please.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
I know. No, but honestly, when we were renegotiating, and I just thought they were being incredibly unfair, not even reasonable at all, and they weren't. It was just like, it's just like wherever you work in the world, you deserve what you deserve. And if like you're an integral part of something, you deserve some
validated in that.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's not. But anyway, it got to the point in the renegotiations where Peter supposedly marched into the creator's room and said, "You fire him now, just fire him." And they looked at him and we go, "We can't. He's fucking Lex Luthor." And God, I wish I knew that then, because I would have really negotiated, No, but like, it was, I remember that. And then when I left after season 7, it was very good terms. I always worked very hard.
Yeah.
I remember Peter Roth wants to have dinner with you. I was like, Jesus. And he didn't know that I knew that about the firing thing at that time, because that would happen earlier, but I did know. And he sat with me, and it was like the first time he'd ever met me. And I had done a series that lasted 2 seasons for him, and a show that lasted 2 seasons, pilots that I did favors to do, and 7 years on Smallville. I probably worked more than any other actor on that network in the Dubba's history, WB, and look, they have a new regime now, and I'm so glad. That's why I feel free like talking about it.
Peter's not there anymore.
Yeah, because now they got awesome people over there, and it's incredible. But he sat me down, and he's just like, "You got to come back. You have to do these 3 years. We want to sign you for a 3-year deal, and just went on and on. And why don't you want to? I go, I just I love doing comedy. I just want to go direct a little movie that, I wrote and just have fun and, start to explore and do stuff. I did this character for 7 years, 163 episodes.
Time
it was a lot,
be
10 months a
show.
year. And I just was like, hey, and then I said, you know what? Well, Peter, you guys send an offer. Just send an offer, but I'm probably not going to do this. You know what the offer was? The same money I was getting.
Are you serious?
On my mother's life, it was
literally the same offer.
The same offer. So whatever I was making when I left, they go, yeah, so sign on for 3 years and you'll get the same thing.
The same thing. No.
Hey, work at Arby's for another 3 years, but we're not giving you a raise, but we really like you.
Yeah.
Oh, do you? So I was just like, what? And my agent was like, well, hang on, let's counter. I'm like, counter what?
Why counter when you've been so disrespected?
That was the last straw for me.
Yeah.
That was it. I just said, I don't want to counter. I don't care what they offer now. It's principle. Done. Don't care.
Good for you.
And that was it.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Fully.
And I knew I had to respect myself.
Yeah.
And it was like, it wasn't worth it. I was like, hey, I'm okay. I'm okay. I worked. I have a little cash. I got a great life. Let's go do let's go do something else.
Did working on that show start to take the joy out of acting? And not meaning the show, just the time, the amount of time playing one character.
Sure. I mean, I get bored pretty easily. And, that's a commitment.
Yeah.
And I always committed to the character. Always. But Yeah, whenever they said cut, I was the guy making jokes and doing stand-up and doing impressions and, because I had to.
Yeah.
And I could fool around up till action, and I just jump into it. That's just how I've always worked. I don't need to, unless I have a big speech or something and I need to really focus or something. But, for the most part, that's how I stay in it, by being distracted until I need to really be on. But, playing the same part and for that long, it was tough, and I just knew I had so much else to offer, but I also respected the role. And I thought, because people have a tendency to say, about roles you do. And it's like, well, he's known mostly as Lex Luthor and that's the role. And I'm like, fuck yeah. If I'm known for that and that's the only thing in my life, that's not awesome.
Yeah.
I don't care. I really don't. I used to think like, I got to do something better. I've got to be better than that.
God forbid you get pijonholed or whatever.
How are you going to be better than like playing a great character like that on a great show for so many years? I mean, just to be lucky enough to be on a great show and be good in something is amazing. So I honestly, like, that's how I'll be remembered. That's the best thing ever.
But you're arguably, so many people believe that you are like the best Lex Luthor.
Well,
it's true.
Look, Gene Hackman's always been my favorite. It was two different roles. But like, it was good to actually know, and this was something I worked on, to actually look at yourself and not need all the, it's great to hear like, like James Gunn said it on the podcast and, Stan Lee. And it's really cool to see your peers and people you respect and admire and your friends say that. But the most important thing is you have to know it. You have to know that you were really good. And I look back now, especially doing this rewatch podcast with Tom Welling, which we do, Talkville. I watch it and I could sort of appreciate like going, hey, you did a good job, man. You're good. You're good in this.
Did James, was there?
He said it on the podcast.
Yeah, he said it on the podcast, but he's doing this the new Superman.
Yeah, he said.
Is there a world where Lex like shows up and you're like,
he said to me,
did they have a multiverse in that?
Well, James looked at me in the podcast and he goes, well, you're the best Lex Luthor. I go, come on. No. You're the best Lex Luthor ever. Period. I mean, come on. You know that, right? And I go, what? And I go, but you're not going to cast me as Lex in your movie. He goes, no. And we laughed.